Hey guys, Jesse with Rugged Mountain Custom RV here. I wanted to do a quick video on talking about my build construction. I've had a lot of questions about why we build with wood, would we ever build with metal framing, and I'm gonna dig a little deeper into that in this video and hopefully answer some of these questions. So first off, if you don't know, we do build a wood structure. We are on our Denali 3S, we are a true 2x4 structure, stapled together. Everything is glued and stapled with screws in it also. I've chosen this for many reasons. The biggest reason, number one reason for me, is thermal breakage. If you don't know what thermal breakage is a point where cold weather exterior, and this is a very brief description of this, but cold exterior, hot interior, the cold moves through the wall, which is in some way, shape, or form called thermal breakage. In a metal walls, metal framed campers, the metal is a conductor. Wood is an insulator. So if you put this in a freezer and this in a freezer, this one's gonna get colder through faster than this is. Wood is an insulator, so this one's consider an insulation value where this one is not. So when I say conductor, if you start with cold air out here, this metal is gonna get colder through the metal faster than this wood will. This is providing insulation factor when this metal framing is going to go in, and a good example is when you're driving down the road, you can see each and every stud, framing member, I should call it, in a RV a lot easier when it is a metal frame than when it's a wood frame. That has to do with a different temperature. Your metal's a different temperature than all your wood products inside. Inside most RVs, you get a paneling. I say there is some composite stuff out there now. So the paneling is layered on a wood product. The fiberglass on the exterior on most RVs is laid up on a wood product. Whether it's a Luan backing or a plywood, it's still a wood product. So what happens on thermal breakage is if I glue on with adhesive, glue on my inside paneling or my exterior fiberglass, which is wood backed, that is, you got your insulator against a conductor, and the thermal breakage will cause that adhesive to let loose. So if it warms and cools rapidly, a lot of times that adhesive could lose its adhesive values and let loose, which is what happens, and they call it delamination. And you see the delamination on a lot of campers because it's really bubbly. It looks like the adhesive has let loose. A lot of that is caused when it's on a metal frame camper from thermal breakage and the delamination from the temperatures. If I glue on the same products to your wood to wood with a wood glue, most of the time I'm gonna tear that wood apart when I try to pull it off. It doesn't let loose as much as it would on a metal substructure. So that's number one reason why I use wood still and not metal. Okay, a lot of people will say they want metal because metal doesn't rot, wood will rot out. Well, let me tell you, the place where most campers fail and the rot happens is where a jack is located. Up in our front area here, as you can see, I have a lot of structure here. So it'll rot out, and then the jack would fall off or the camper would collapse. Well, what other manufacturers that have metal framing are claiming is, they got the metal framing. Well, they are still putting wood inside of that metal framing. So your metal framing, they're still stuffing wood inside of there, so it has something, the bolt or screw has something to grab a hold of, because the next point of a wood or a metal frame camper is, it's hard to see, but you got a screw here and threads on a normal screw. When I put that through here, I got very minimal threads holding a metal frame, metal structure of a camper. You got 2-3 threads on there. If I put that same screw into the wood, every thread is holding into that wood. So I got much more capability of holding my structure together because all my threads are grabbing something as opposed to if it's into a metal. But that's also why my competitors are adding wood behind the metal to get it to hold. So if anybody thinks that metal's lighter, I would call that false, because they're adding more weight to put wood in it to hold the backing. Any place there's a cabinet, anytime they need structure, most of the time they're adding wood. Even in composite panel campers, the new composite panel campers, they are still adding some sort of backing to screw something into because there's nothing to hold the weight unless you add some sort of wood or some sort of structure that's gonna let a screw grab. So that's another big reason why I use wood over aluminum, because they're still using wood for the structure part of the camper. You know, aluminum or metal frame campers came out when they came out with slide outs because the slide outs were rotting out because they couldn't stop the slide outs from leaking. And I'll always tell my customers, instead of trying to fix the problem by just changing to metal framing, which didn't fix the problem, how about we fix the original problem, which is don't let the slide outs leak. So we construct our slide outs completely different. That's a whole nother video. We'll talk about that in a different video. But so that is reason number 2. I think we're on to reason number 2 why I do not use metal. The importance for me on a wood structure, you can see my corner where my jack is. This is where the most weight in my camper is, in the front. My center of gravity is so far forward in this. I also have an 82-gallon fresh tank in the very front. I got a lot of weight up here. It is very important to me that jack holds. So we also have through bolts down below, but if I put a lag in here, I have so much wood here to grab. So I got plenty of structure that isn't gonna fail in this corner where my most important structure, my most important, that's where my jack is. It's important to me that this does not fail. So, and then I through bolt it through my wood also. So if you're worried about staples, the staples are holding everything together, the glue and the staples. But on top of this, these staples will not back out. They will get glued. We glue on this entire fiberglass backed wood product, glue it on top of that. There's no way for that staple to come out because it's getting held on also by that fiberglass. So this structure really becomes one. Once this whole fiberglass goes on, the interior is on, there's nothing left. Plus in our rigid spray foam, once we spray this in and shave it, they'll fill the rest of these cavities up and get them nice and smooth like this one is. But this is one solid structure. It is not coming apart. So with the R value, the rigidity of screws being able to hold into it, and the thermal breakage point of a wood product, I firmly believe that a wood frame structure is far superior of any metal frame structure. So to make it brief, those are the top reasons why I use wood.